Today we're talking about how to multi-track record from a board like this into DaVinci Resolve. So let's get into it. So when you're trying to record directly into DaVinci Resolve multi-track from a board like this, which is the Behringer X32, the first thing we need to do is hook the board up to the computer. So in order to do that, there's an expansion card in the back of the board here. We're gonna plug in a USB printer cable, actually, from the board, and then just plug that right into the computer and make sure that the computer can see the board. And as long as the computer can see the board, you should be able to get it to show up in DaVinci Resolve and record multi-track, so in this case, 32 channels, right into DaVinci Resolve. So I don't know if you can see it, but right down here is where our expansion card is. Got our printer cable right here. We're gonna run it all the way over to the computer right here. And now it should appear for us in the computer. Now, if it doesn't, you may need to create an aggregate device, at least here on Mac. I could see the X32, I could see all 32 channels, but for some reason it wasn't hooking up into Resolve and I wasn't getting signals. So you may need to jump into the MIDI settings and create an aggregate device that you can then use for Resolve to look at that and see all 32 channels coming out of the board over here. So you can see right here, I created this 32 aggregate channel. We can see it's got all of our channels here from the board that we can see. And I needed to do that just to make sure that Resolve would actually get the signal from the board itself. So once you created that aggregate device here on a Mac, PC may be different, I'm not sure, I'm a Mac guy, so on a Mac you need that aggregate device, set that as your default input for your computer, and then we should be able to look it up when we get into Resolve with no problems. So here in Resolve, to make sure that the X32 is our input, I'm gonna come to DaVinci Resolve, Preferences, we're gonna go to Video and Audio, I/O. Under here, under Input Device, you could try the X32, but that wasn't working for me, which is why I made the aggregate device down here. So I'm gonna choose the X32 aggregate. And as far as output, you can leave that as built-in, that's fine, and then go ahead and hit save. So now that we got that squared away, I'm actually gonna jump into Fairlight, since we're doing audio only here, and I've already gone ahead and created all my tracks that we need. I have 32 tracks here, and right now they're just labeled audio track 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 32, and actually it looks like I have 33, got an extra one in there, and I'll go back and rename them later, but essentially every channel that we have in DaVinci Resolve here is gonna match the channels that come from our board over here. So once you have your 32 tracks in Resolve, we actually have to patch the board in. So we're gonna need to go to Fairlight, and then we wanna come down to Patch Input Output. That's gonna bring up our Patch Input Output, and we're gonna need to select our track inputs under our destination over here. So now we can see all of our tracks, and over here is all of our source inputs. So what we need to do is patch everybody from this side over to that side. So in Resolve, when we record, we'll see our vocal channels here, followed by some keys and guitars, other keys, other guitars. And we've even got multiple layers here for our drums and other instruments. And we're gonna be able to see all that and get all that as a raw file into DaVinci Resolve. So when I say we're gonna get it as a raw file, I just mean it's not gonna have any processing. It's just gonna be the raw signal from the stage. It's gonna come into the board and we're gonna record it at that stage, right when it comes into the board. We're not gonna have any effects. We're not gonna have any gates or dynamics or anything applied to it. It's just gonna go right into Resolve and gonna be just a flat file that we can then start to work with and mix it however we want right here in DaVinci Resolve. Just to jump in here real quick, if you want to specify where DaVinci Resolve is going to save all of these multi-track files, here's what you do. You want to go to your project settings, the little gear icon at the bottom right. You want to open that up, and then you want to go to Capture and Playback. Then you want to come down to the Capture section and Save Clips to. Now right here is where you want to select Browse, and then go find the location where you want all these files saved. So we have our tracks patched, and on my first track here, this is a vocal track. That's actually this microphone right here. So we armed our track to record by hitting that little R. And then all we have to do to start recording is hit our record button up here in the toolbar. But if I first turn on this microphone to make sure that we're getting some signal here into Resolve, I'm talking in the microphone, and we can see we've got our meters moving. We're getting signal in Resolve, which means we should be good to go to record right into Resolve from the board. So as long as we arm all of our tracks to record, all 32 tracks will get recorded directly into DaVinci Resolve. So everything's patched in. We're about to start servicing in like 10 minutes here, and I'll get some shots of what it looks like while you're recording. You see all the meters moving in Resolve, and check it out later.
colors by yourself. It is a dangerous activity. If COVID taught me anything, cutting your own hair can be done by yourself, but some of us should not do it.
So I went ahead and recorded the entire rehearsal as well as the entire service. So I just want to show you guys what it looks like once that's all recorded, and I have it here in DaVinci Resolve. Check this out. So I'm here in DaVinci Resolve, and this is the file that we set up when we recorded our multi-track right from the X32 board. So you can see here, I've got all of my channels here. I did go through and start to name some of them as far as my vocals here. We've got our lab mic, I've got guitars, and I tried to name them the same way that they were on the board, so that way I know what I'm looking at. So I did record tracks too that I didn't have anything on at that particular time, and those are designated by the tracks I muted here because I don't need them. There's nothing recorded on those, but you can see it still recorded a track. We have a file for it even though there's nothing on it, because depending on the song, maybe you use a track or maybe you don't, but this way we've recorded all 32 tracks right out of the board. And when you have all your files recorded in the media pool here, you're going to see all of your audio files right there. And if you want to see what they look like on your hard drive, you can go to the location that you specified in your project settings, and it's going to look a little something like this. And an extra bonus tip, if you named the track whatever you wanted that track to be called, for example, Lav 1, Vocal 2, Vocal 3, your files will have that name in part of the file name. So the track name will appear in part of the file name. Now I'm going to go ahead and just play through just a few seconds of what it sounds like here, and you're going to notice that it doesn't sound all that balanced or good, or you're like, I don't really like that. And the reason is because we recorded straight out of the board before we did any kind of processing, any kind of leveling. It's essentially just a signal straight from the stage. So there's no EQ, there's no dynamics, there's no compression, there's no effects, there's no mixing and balancing of the different parts of the music. It's just the straight file after we've set our gain structure up so that we're getting a good signal into the board. That's exactly what we have here in DaVinci Resolve. And when you do that, here's kind of what it sounds like. If I just zoom in here on my timeline a little bit so we can see it a little bit better, you can see we've got a little bit on each track. I can zoom the tracks a little bit bigger, and here's just a little snippet of what it sounds like.
Come on, my soul, don't you get shy of me, lift up your song.
So it's not very balanced, right? We would have to go through and mix it all because this is not a post-fader mix. This is just the signals coming straight out of the board before anything else happens to them. So it's a great way to practice with files, with different vocals, with different instruments. And we're going to be doing a lot of that here with this file. I'm going to work through it and remix it and make a bunch of videos on it because I think it'd be interesting for you guys, and I think it would be fun for me as an exercise to go through and work with the different tracks here and try and come up with a good mix here right in DaVinci Resolve and really use Resolve as a DAW to create my own mix. So if you are interested in the series about how we're going to mix all this and work with these files here in DaVinci Resolve to get the best music that we can, let me know, drop a comment down below, and I am really excited to get into this also because we have this. Hold on, wait for it. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh. We have this guy from Blackmagic Design. They sent it out for me to try out and play with. I'm going to be making a bunch of videos on this. This is the Fairlight desktop console. This thing is massive. It's big, but it's got the faders on it. It's touch sensitive on all the buttons and the keys and the dials. It's really cool. I actually had a chance to play with this at the event NAB New York when Blackmagic was there. Really cool here, and we may even have some more Fairlight console components coming that we can play with and try, but this is one of them. I'm going to make a video about how to use it, what do you do with it, how does it work, but then we're also going to actually use it to create this file here and mix and master all this music that we recorded multi-track right into Resolve. And I just really think that Resolve is getting to the point where you could do all of your music there. You could do your recording, your editing. You can work with these consoles, you know, once you've got it in your computer. There's just so much that you can do. There's always room for improvement, don't get me wrong. If you are a music guy and you work with other DAWs, you work with, you know, maybe some of the Adobe stuff or Pro Tools, whatever it might be, there's definitely things that need to be added into Fairlight, but I think they're on their way. And with how quickly Blackmagic innovates and keeps building these different tabs of DaVinci Resolve, I think it's going to be there, you know, pretty soon. You know, it's going to be a full-fledged DAW, and you can do everything that you can in any other program right here in Fairlight. So if you're interested in this, and how to work with all these different music tracks. Stay tuned, keep an eye out for the videos in this series, and guys, with that said, I'm gonna open this guy up, check it out, and start playing with it so I can make a video for you guys. So with that said, oh, it's heavy too. It's heavy too. Thank you, Black Magic, for sending that guy out. We're gonna try it out, and you guys stay tuned. With that said, if you have any questions about multi-track recording right into Resolve from some kind of soundboard, drop me a comment. I love learning about this stuff and trying to figure out different boards, how it works. Really just trying to help you guys figure out how to make it work for your situation. So any questions, leave a comment down below. And with that said, guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year. This is the first video I'm filming of the new year, although the first part of this video was filmed before the new year, but we're in the new year now, so Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a good one.